Jim, you must be satisfied with the performance, but disappointed we're not starting the season with 3 points.
I think the overriding emotion is one of disappointment, to be honest. I thought the first half was really good. I thought the shape of the team was excellent. We worked on trying to hit Dundee on the break into those wide areas, trying to isolate our wingers up against their outside centre backs. I thought we got a lot of joy and a lot of success in those areas of the pitch. The second half, Dundee definitely had more of the ball, and they were definitely in our defensive third a lot more than what we would have liked. They went a lot longer in the second half, a lot more direct than what they were in the first half, and caused us one or two problems, definitely. But I think over the whole balance and over the piece, when I reflect on it, a point will probably have been a fair outcome. But with that said, I think the bit that would probably come back to haunt us all is that moment at 2-1 where Christian Trapanovsky is through one-on-one, and he just doesn't get enough purchase on the chip. I think if he had the opportunity again, he probably would have rounded the goalkeeper and left himself with an open goal. But I'm certainly not going to be critical of Christian, because I thought he was terrific all day. Delighted that he got his goal, the first one to set us off. And look, there's plenty of positives for us to take from it, but we are extremely disappointed not to be standing here with 3 points on the board.
Just on Christian, how pleased are you that he's managed to continue his form from the League Cup and made sure that it's not been a flash in the pan, because that's a few really good, consistent games that he's put together now? Yeah,
and these guys are still trying to get the fitness up to speed. They're so many of them, O'Dad has only had 5 sessions with the group, and then he's been doing extra sessions with the sports science team. Babunski's late in, Trapanovsky. There's so many of them that haven't had a full pre-season like some of the group that were with us from day one. So every team's in a similar position. I know that, but it is important to remind ourselves of that. I think we're limited in terms of options in the middle of the park when you consider O'Dad has only been with us a week, and then you're asking a lot of Babunski and Sibbald, and I would have liked him to be able to freshen that up a little bit earlier, but obviously Docherty being out is a big loss. So we have to hope that we get Doc back pretty soon, which we're quite confident that we will. But got to give great credit to the players that are here. I had a slight concern prior to the game about the physicality and whether we could handle it or not, because I know how direct and how strong a team Dundee are, but I thought the back three, coped with it brilliantly. There was just that one unfortunate moment leading to the penalty where I think it was the first time all day where we got caught on the wrong side defensively. And we spoke to the players, all week about, centre halves. Having played there myself in that position, more often than not you're going to be up against opponents that are quicker than you. But if you read the game well, if you anticipate things, and if you get yourself, your body shape in the right position, then you can give yourself a chance of winning that race. And unfortunately, just in that last moment there, in the leading to the penalty, we didn't do that as well as what we had done in the previous 80 minutes. But it's not about any one individual. Collectively as a team, I thought we were very good, very well organised. I thought the back three in particular, Ross Graham, Gallagher and Holt, were excellent and dealt with everything that was thrown in the box. And we just need to get a little bit fitter over the coming weeks, and we need to get a little bit braver on the ball. I thought the second half we stopped passing the ball, we stopped exploiting the space that we had in the wing backs areas. Will Ferry was a good outlet for us in the second half, and we didn't get him on the ball enough. And these are things that we'll continue to learn from.
Do you feel the fading in the second half then was due to fitness?
I just think there was a bit of fatigue in there in the middle of the pitch. And you look at the squad that we've got today. We've got 3 17-year-olds and 18-year-old on the bench. I don't think they're ready to be chucked into a game of this magnitude yet, albeit all very good young talented players. But we just are a little bit light in certain areas, and as a club and as a recruitment team, we're aware of that, and we're working on trying to get the proper profile of player into the building to make sure that we have got those options to freshen things up at key moments.
You touched on it briefly earlier on, but you must be pleased with the controlled aggression that was shown all over the park, and that was fuelled by the atmosphere in here today. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Well, look, I thought it was a great occasion. I think both sets of players deserve a huge amount of credit in terms of how they went about it. There was a few meaty tackles, all above board. Defensively, my lads had to be aggressive against 4 strikers in the end that are all of a similar ilk in terms of going to knock you about and going to run behind. And I thought there was really good commitment and application from the players. But the bit that will frustrate us is the fact that we didn't go 3-1 in front when we had the opportunity. I thought it would have been too big a mountain to climb for Dundee at that point. While it's at 2-1, they're always in the game. They threw everything at us. They kept turning the ball in behind. They kept going long. They kept trying to pick up them second balls. We stood up to it in the main, but unfortunately just got done with the sucker punch with the penalty.
Do you feel it was a fair award there, a penalty?
Watching it back, I think in the modern day game, yeah, I think it wasn't a nasty tackle from Ross. It's a last ditch kind of tackle in desperation to try and stop Murray from getting a free shot at goal. He certainly doesn't mean to make contact with the player, but I think in today's game, yeah, it's probably a penalty. I think the bit that will annoy Ross, because he was outstanding, I thought, today, and we know that he's playing on the wrong side. It's not his favourite position. He's naturally left-footed. He always does a job for the team when asked, and that's something that we need to sort out. We've had to move Vichko up into right wing back, given the injury to Ryan Strain. So there are mitigating factors to why Ross has to play there, but he was brilliant today, along with Gallagher and Holt. Just that one moment in the build-up to the penalty where we just didn't defend it well enough. And these things can happen. Sometimes you don't get punished for them. Today, unfortunately, we did.
Sounds like there's a lot of positives to take out of this game, but also things to learn going into next week.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn as well. Of course there is. The positives, I think, are the structure of the team, the organisation, the discipline, that controlled aggression that we spoke about. Things we need to do better are on the ball. I think we need to move the ball quicker. I think there was too many times in the first half where we got caught in possession, and sometimes that can happen when you bring foreign players to the club and to a different league. The league that some of these guys are coming from, it is a little bit slower, and today was a very fast game. You don't get a chance to take 3 and 4 touches in the middle of the park. You have to move it on in 1 and 2. But I thought we got into some really good moments, particularly in the first half. We had a good chance at the end with Big Richard hitting the box. Unfortunately, just got too much purchase on the header. But yeah, I think we can be, I think we can take a lot of belief and a lot of confidence from this, because Dundee had a great season last year. I think Tony Dock has recruited really well, and the fact that we were able to stand up to the physicality of them today is pleasing. But we will continue to improve on our fitness, and we will certainly continue to improve on our overall play when we're in possession.